Well, I think the race here in Les Alpes is always one to look out for, you know. The whole range here is unbelievable, you know. The mountains are massive, all the tracks are pretty full on.
It's World Cup racing on trail bikes.
It was pretty hard for the mental because it's really physical. We were thinking that we were on the wrong way because it was too climbing. So it was hard for the beginning, but after we did 2, 3 and 4, it was really cool, like more downhill and fast and rough. So yeah.
For me, the stage 2 seems like it's the best here. Has a good mix of technical rocks and you know, some good flow, like high speed, but you know, it seems to flow really well.
I think it was going to be a tough one this weekend. Such a different format to the first 2 World Enduros and kind of bike parky, super steep terrain. So it ended up being, for me, probably the hardest one so far, just because it was so downhilly, which most people would think would be my strength. But I think just the lack of downhill I've done over the last kind of 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, I think the whole course here in Les Alpes is pretty amazing, you know. It's quite natural, not so many man-made stuff on it, so yeah, I think it's definitely a testing track for riders, you know. You have going flat out and you can't really see what's in the bushes and the grass next to you, so yeah, you have to be on your game, definitely.
They stare at me while I stare at you.
My favorite part was maybe stage 3. It was hard to ride, it was a natural single track, really loose with a lot of dust. This is what I like to ride, and it's all natural.
The course was really tough, really physical at the beginning of the race, with one stage super physical. The rest of the course, especially the third one and fourth one, was really steep and rough, with some straight parts with lines, so it was not easy.
It's true, I crave you.
Steep sections down, a lot of grass stuff, tight corners, fast, yeah, really bumpy, but mostly to me it feels like, you know, I put my 200mm rotors up and I want to have more suspension, and it almost feels like, yeah, riding downhill here.
Into the room dripping in gold.
I don't remember everything, just the key points. I try to forget everything, just remember this, and try to remember the overall profile of the race. So when you have to pedal, when you have to save energy, when you can let the brake go.
Stage 4 is pretty good, just some really fast, open stuff at the top. Reminds me of like the World Cup downhill tracks when I started, just, you know, 40-foot wide meadows, really fast, and then just rough and gnarly. You know, nothing that gnarly about the track, just the speed, and you know, that it's all pretty exposed. So I like it. It's cool.
before I lose faith.
I think it's quite cool to be part of Crankworx in that respect, because Crankworx is usually, especially the Whistler one, has always been quite a big deal, so yeah, it's cool to be in amongst that as well.
I think it's good that they added the Enduro series to the Crankworx series, because Crankworx is such a big name already and such a big festival. To add the Enduro series to it is just great, you know.
Other boys do, they stare at me.